The murder of Jordan's father. Coincidence or warning? Two teenagers pulled the trigger, but the story still feels off. James Jordan was murdered in 1993, shot in his car by two teens. Authorities said it was random, but the timing haunted fans. It came months after Jordan's gambling ties made headlines. Some whispered about unpaid debts, retribution, or a warning. The NBA never investigated deeper. Media moved on fast. Jordan left basketball weeks later. Officially, there's no connection, but too many things lined up too perfectly and too quietly. In a league built on icons, even murder can get folded into myth. David Stern's public relations machine. He didn't clean up the NBA, he just hid the dirt better. David Stern is remembered as the man who saved the league. TV deals, global stars, cleaned up image. But behind the curtain, he ran the NBA like a politician. Scandals disappeared. Controversies were reframed. Players were fined for speaking truth, but praised for selling shoes. The media was fed stories, not questions. From Magic's HIV to Jordan's retirements, Stern controlled the narrative with surgical precision. He didn't erase darkness, he blurred it until fans forgot it was ever there. Donald Sterling's early racism, ignored by the league. They knew who he was for decades. They just didn't care. Long before the infamous 2014 recording, Donald Sterling's racism was public record. Housing discrimination lawsuits, taped conversations, and player complaints stacked up for years. Elgin Baylor sued him in 2009 for racial abuse. Nothing happened. The league turned a blind eye. Sterling made money, and that was enough. It wasn't until TMZ leaked a private phone call that public outrage forced Adam Silver to act. But the truth is simple. The NBA didn't discover Sterling's racism in 2014. It buried it long before that, until it couldn't anymore. The 1993 Phoenix Suns prostitution sting right. Before the playoffs, half the team got caught in a trap. Just days before the 1993 Western Conference Finals, multiple Phoenix Suns players, including All-Stars, were implicated in a prostitution sting. Police ran a months-long undercover operation. Hidden cameras, phone taps, and secret meetings led to national headlines. But suddenly, the charges vanished. No one was suspended. No one missed a game. The Suns made the finals. Years later, reporters hinted that local officials buried the scandal to protect Arizona's best shot at an NBA title. Justice didn't win. Ratings did. 1994. Rockets, championship drug rumors. They won it all, but whispers said the trophy wasn't clean. The Houston Rockets stormed to a title in 1994, but inside league circles, rumors brewed. Anonymous sources claim multiple players failed drug tests during the playoff run, especially for cocaine and marijuana. Yet no suspensions followed. No stories ran. The NBA had just lost Michael Jordan. It needed a new narrative, not another scandal. Houston got its ring. The league got its redemption arc. And the failed tests buried under champagne and confetti. To this day, no official investigation has ever confirmed or denied the rumors. Eddie Griffin, alcohol, porn, and a fiery end. He watched adult films while driving and never made it home. Eddie Griffin had talent, a top draft pick, explosive forward, and once called the future. But his life spiraled fast. He battled alcohol addiction, missed practices, crashed cars. He once fired a gun at his own teammate. In 2007, drunk and watching pornography in his SUV, he drove through a railroad crossing at full speed. He burned to death on impact. No seatbelt, no skid marks. The NBA issued statements, then moved on. A 25-year-old talent was gone. Consumed by demons no one in the league ever tried to face. Bison Dele, NBA star who vanished at sea. He left the league at his peak, then disappeared forever. Bison Dele walked away from millions in 1999. He sailed the Pacific with his girlfriend and brother. Then, Silence. Months later, his brother returned alone. No Bison, no girlfriend, no skipper. The story unraveled. Murder, forged documents, stolen identities. Authorities say his brother killed them all and dumped the bodies overboard, but no bodies were ever found. The case closed with no trial. The NBA never truly addressed it. One of its brightest minds vanished, and the league turned the page like he never existed. Allen Iverson and the culture war with the NBA. He didn't just cross defenders, he crossed the line they drew for him. Allen Iverson changed the NBA. Tattoos, braids, baggy clothes. He was the street brought to hardwood. But the league didn't embrace him. It tried to erase him. In 2005, the NBA introduced a dress code. Everyone knew it was about Iverson. His music was censored, his character questioned. They couldn't stop his game, so they attacked his image. He wasn't just playing basketball, he was fighting a system that wanted his talent, but not his truth. Iverson never folded. The league bent first, but the war left scars. The 2002 Lakers-Kings Game 6, the rig job calls were missed, fouls were invented, millions watched and smelled it. Game 6 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals is still basketball's most suspicious 48 minutes. The Lakers shot 27 free throws in the fourth quarter alone. The Kings' bigs fouled out. Obvious fouls weren't called. Phantom whistles were. Tim Donaghy later claimed the game was fixed to extend the series. The league denied everything. But fans saw what they saw. Sacramento never recovered. The Lakers won the title, and a generation learned something dark. The scoreboard isn't always controlled by the players. The malice at the palace. Media versus reality. They called the players thugs, but they never showed the full tape. November 19th, 2004. A fan throws a drink. Ron Artest charges the stands. Chaos erupts. The malice at the palace became the NBA's darkest night. The media blamed the players, but full footage showed fans throwing chairs, rushing the court, swinging first. The NBA handed out the longest suspensions in history. No fan served time. It wasn't justice. It was damage control. The league cleaned up its image by sacrificing its own. The truth was messy, so they only showed the part that made the players monsters. Kobe Bryant's Colorado case. PR versus Justice 1 accusation. One courtroom, two different realities. In 2003, Kobe Bryant was charged with sexual assault in Colorado. The case was brutal. The media devoured it. Endorsements vanished. His legacy teetered. The case was later dropped after the accuser refused to testify, reportedly due to death threats and media pressure. Kobe settled a civil suit, never admitted guilt, and kept playing. The NBA never suspended him. The league's PR machine rebuilt his image brick by brick. But one question stayed buried under banners. What's justice worth when billions are on the line? Gilbert Arenas brought guns into the locker room. It started as a card game. It ended with loaded weapons on team property. In 2009, Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton argued over a gambling debt. Arenas brought multiple guns to the Wizards' locker room, laid them out like a warning. Crittenton brought one back. Both were suspended. Crittenton would later face prison for an unrelated murder. The NBA tried to keep it quiet, but the story leaked. Guns. In the locker room. On NBA property. No one died, but the league's image cracked. Arenas was never the same. Neither was the Wizards franchise. The NBA pretended it was an isolated moment. It wasn't. Tim Donaghy, the ref who exposed it. All. He wasn't the only one doing it. He was just the one who got caught. Tim Donaghy bet on games he officiated. That much is proven. But when the FBI got involved in 2007, deeper shadows appeared. Donaghy claimed other refs influenced outcomes. That the NBA managed playoff series. That certain teams were protected. The league called him a rogue. But fans remembered suspicious games. Game 6 in 2002. Phantom calls in the playoffs. Donaghy served 15 months. The NBA revised nothing. One referee became the scapegoat. The system remained untouched, and the whistle never sounded again.